Okay. 13-4 likely for the Seahawks. I wouldn't be surprised at 14-3. I don't think we're going to win out. I don't think we're going 15-2, but yeah. Okay, that's for the Seahawks. Then for number 2, we have the Rams, also with the same record. So the Rams are a good team. Can't deny that. Right now, until the Seahawks beat the Rams, I can't put the Seahawks above them. But do I think the Seahawks have a better team? Yes. But I also think that the Rams have a better coach. So make of that what you will. Well, let's go over the Rams season so far. So they beat the Texans, just like we did, but they beat them by a lot less. So that's one thing that makes me believe that maybe we are a little better than the Rams, but I'll show you why that kind of gets negated here in a second. The Titans. You're supposed to beat the Titans. Beat them by 14. That's a healthy beat. That's a whooping. Anytime you beat a team by 14 or more, that's considered good. Then they beat the Colts, which is why I don't think the Colts are really that good. We'll have to see coming up, but the Colts are going to make the playoffs just because their schedule is so weak. But they beat them. And then you beat the Ravens with no Lamar, 17-3. I would say it's a good beat, but without Lamar, if Lamar's there, do you lose that game? You might lose that game if Lamar Jackson is playing. So I'm going to say not good on that one. You did hold them to 3 points, but they had a backup QB. So, questionable. And then you beat the Jaguars 35-7. That is what negates the Texans' differential between the Rams and Seahawks. Because the Seahawks only beat them 20-12. But granted, the Seahawks were injured and the Rams were healthy. The Rams have been healthy all year. They haven't had any real major significant injuries. They do have Puka Nacua out right now, but that's only one. Seattle has dealt with a litany of injuries, all on the defense. The defense has been messed up. And then you beat the Saints 34-10. Good, that's what you're supposed to do. But Seattle beat them by more. Seattle beat them 44-13. That is another thing that kind of leads me to believe that Seattle's just a tiny bit better. And then you got your losses. You lost to the Eagles. No shame in that. Anyone can lose to the Eagles. The Eagles, I got it number 1. I'm going to spoil that here. I already spoiled that, so here. Number 1, Eagles. Losing to the Eagles by a touchdown, and that was kind of lucky of them because they blocked a field goal and returned it for a touchdown. They kind of beat you with luck. So I think you're, at worst, evenly matched with the Eagles. That's why I have the Rams at 2 and the Eagles at 1. Because until proven otherwise, that's what it's got to be. Now, if the Seahawks do wind up being just a little bit better than the Rams, that probably means that they're just a little bit better than the Eagles too, which would justify them being at number 1. Hence, you can't be mad at somebody for having the Seahawks at number 1 right now. Do I have them at number 1? No, because I have to see it. I have to see it to believe it. The Eagles and the Rams are both really good teams. The NFC is stacked right now. The NFC has 6 really good teams that any one of them could get to the Super Bowl. The AFC has 4 that could possibly get to the Super Bowl. And the only reason that is because they don't have to go through the NFC to get there. There you go. Now, to number 1. The Eagles. Let's see how their season has gone thus far. Why do they deserve to be number one? Their first win, the Cowboys. That doesn't look great for them. You barely beat the Cowboys in week one. But it is week one. Everybody's rusty. Nobody's like at 100%. So you get a pass. And then you go to the Chiefs. You barely beat the Chiefs by a field goal. We don't know how strong that win is yet. It could be a really good win, or it could be a blah win. We have to see how good the Chiefs really are. I don't think they're a world-beating team. I don't think they're a top 5 team. I think they're a top 10 because they got Patrick Mahomes, but I don't think they're a top 5. I think they're somewhere between 6 and 10. That's where I think they're going to end up. We'll see how the season plays out. Then you got the Rams. You did beat the Rams, like I said, with a lucky blocked field goal returned for a touchdown. That doesn't happen very often. That's a lucky play. Then you beat the Bucs. That's a good win. But how good is it? How many injuries had piled up for the Bucs by the time you beat them? Were they more injured than when they played the Seahawks? If so, then that win's not as good. But you did beat them, where the Seahawks lost. But the Seahawks had a reason to lose. They had no defense. Then you got the Vikings. You beat the Vikings. Okay, you're supposed to. But you only beat them by 6. I think you should have beat them by more than that to be convincing. And then you beat the Giants handily, which you should. But you let the Giants score 20, which kind of iffy. Now let's go to your losses. The Broncos. You lost to the Broncos. We don't know how good they are yet, so I can't say that's really bad. But then you lost to the Giants. You beat the Giants, but you also lost to the Giants by almost as much as you beat them by. The Giants are bad. The Giants are not a top 20 team, even. I have the Giants at number 26. Means they're just above the ass teams, like the absolute dumpster fire teams. You let them beat you. That makes me kind of question how good you really are. And then there's the history. Philadelphia has never won back-to-back Super Bowls. I kind of think history is going to repeat itself this season. I think you're going to get to the divisional round, and then you'll face either the Rams or the Seahawks, and you'll probably lose. But if you do win, you're going to get to the NFC Championship, and whoever you face there, you're probably going to lose. That's what I got you going with, Eagles. But I do see you getting to the divisional round at least. Here's your remaining schedule. Packers. I don't know if you're going to win that, but you should. The Packers, I believe, are fraudulent. I don't think they're that good. I think they're barely going to make the playoffs. Or they're barely going to miss the playoffs. Either way, they're a cusp team. Then the Lions. I don't know how good the Lions are right now. Are the Lions back to full strength? Or are they not? You could win, you could lose. We'll see what happens. I don't know. That's a coin flip. We'll see. Then you got the Cowboys. Easy win. Well, it's a divisional game, so maybe not easy, but you should win that one. The Cowboys have no defense. Then the Bears. You're going to win that one because the Bears also have no defense. Then the Chargers. I don't really know. We'll see how good the Chargers are. I think you'll win, but maybe I'm proven wrong. Maybe the Chargers are better than I'm giving them credit for, and who knows. Then you got the Raiders. Win. The Commanders. Win. They can't play anybody right now. They're injured to hell. And they're not good even if they're not injured to hell. Then you got the Bills. I just don't know. Can you beat that team? I think you can. I think you should beat that team because I think the NFC is just that much stronger than the AFC right now. But if you lose that game, that kind of proves me wrong, and the Bills might be the strongest team in the AFC. That'll be interesting to see. And then you got the Commanders again. That's a W. So I got your floor at 11-6, and your ceiling at 15-2. I don't think you're going to hit the ceiling. But if you do, that means you'll get the number one seed in the NFC. And the playoffs go through Philadelphia. But we'll see how that shakes out. You could very well also fall to 12-5 or 11-6 and wind up getting like the number 3 seed. Who knows? And that's it for this week's mid-season power rankings. Thanks everybody for watching and have a good day. Like and subscribe if you want to. If you don't, then don't.